Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Panamero, President of the Finance Institute and Managing Director of the Invoice Exchange. I'm excited to have you joining me for this online business workshop. On behalf of all of us at the Finance Institute and the Invoice Exchange, welcome. Welcome to your gateway to the lucrative $136 billion factoring industry. I think you're really going to enjoy this business workshop because the Finance Institute is for non-financial people. And to get your attention very early on in this workshop, anyone can do what I am about to show you. Over the next 45 minutes or so, I'm going to share some of the best content and valuable information that you're ever going to get about this massive, multi-billion-dollar industry, an industry that is growing every year. An industry where our practitioners are called referral sources or cash flow consultants. During this online workshop, you're going to learn about a new lifelong skill that anyone can add to what they're currently doing or on its own. A new career, a career that anyone can start part-time without sacrificing the security of your present job. And best of all, the tremendous amount of solid and pragmatic information you will gain from me during this business workshop, I am confident everyone will be able to use it to your advantage immediately after this workshop is over. You will discover not only am I willing to give you the fishing pole and the bait to catch the fish, I'm willing to show you where the fish will be. So sit back, take some good notes, and relax, because at the end of this workshop, I'm not going to ask you to risk any of your own capital to join this lucrative industry. A matter of fact, you'll be given the opportunity to receive some free online training videos at the end of this workshop. So please stick around. You'll be extremely happy that you did. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the live chat box feature to ask your questions, and I will endeavor to answer as many of your questions at the end of this workshop, time permitting. You can also email your questions to us at info@thetfi.com, and the email address is on the screen in front of you right now. So let me tell you a little bit about me and how I got here, but in the end, this is not about me, this is about you and how we can come together to work together. What you will discover is that I may be a lot like you because my journey in the factoring industry started back in 1999. I was your average hardworking guy. It was on a Friday and I was at work. I was called into the office and I was told that, Michael, we're making some budget cuts and we no longer need you to come into work on Monday. Here's your severance pay. Feel free to seek some legal counsel. You have 5 minutes to clean out your desk, and we wish you all the best. I remember being escorted to my desk, leaving the office, sitting in my car in the parking lot, overcome with emotion, humiliated and very upset. My mind was racing about what am I going to do now? Absolutely disgraced and feeling sick inside, knowing that I now had to go home and tell my wife that I just lost my job. We had recently celebrated our first anniversary and we were moving into a new home. I felt so used, taken advantage of. After putting in all that hard work over all those years, I thought I was doing a great job only to have the entire rug pulled out from under me. I remember everyone telling me, Mike, a job is not for life. It's part of the process, but you never think that losing your job could ever happen to you. Now, why am I telling you this? Because some of you joining me here today may have been made redundant, forced out of work unexpectedly, and are seeking new incredible opportunities. Maybe some of you joining me still have a job. Maybe your life's great and you believe you will continue doing great, and I understand that. You don't really have to make a change, but you're here because you just want something more. And you realize that learning to diversify your skills, having more lines in the water, having multiple income streams coming into your household is the right thing to do. To those people, I say you're smart. Gone are the employer-employee loyalties that existed in the past, and here's what I know. Everyone can be replaced. Everyone can be replaced because it's happened to me. It's happened to my spouse. It's happened to many people that I know. It's happened to many people that have joined our professional referral source and consultant network. In my opinion, everyone needs to have a plan B, an insurance policy, so to speak, in the event something does happen. To those individuals that are seeking a new opportunity, I know how frustrating it can be to be on the job hunt. I know how frustrating it can be to weed through all the so-called opportunities on the internet these days to find the right opportunity, a credible and legitimate opportunity. By the end of this business workshop, I am confident that all of you will discover that the factoring industry can be the right opportunity for you. So back in 1999, I was introduced to an industry that could teach me how to broker mortgage notes and business invoices for cash. A real business, a real industry that just made perfect sense to me because let's think about this for a second. Don't a lot of people carry mortgages? And doesn't every business create an invoice when they sell something to another business or the government? Yes or no? Yes. And here's what I also have discovered over the past 18 years. Investing in yourself, investing a little time to learn a new lifelong skill, diversifying your skill set, creating an insurance plan, insulating yourself from what could go wrong is the right thing to do because no one can ever take it away from you when you're in control. It creates freedom. It creates options, a peace of mind, something that you can rely on. So with that said, what results do you want to take away from this workshop? What results do I want to take away from this workshop? Because in the end, guys, isn't this about the results? I believe all of you are here to do a little investigating, to find out what can the factoring industry do for you? What can the Finance Institute do for you? What can I do for you? What can we do together to help you get you closer to your results? I have been here for over 18 years. My company has been here since 2008. The Finance Institute's core mission has been lead generation to our group of affiliated nationwide funding sources and private business lenders across the United States and Canada. We continue to deliver on this mission by quickly exposing, educating, and supporting an elite consultant and referral source network of individuals just like you. Individuals like you that help us uncover small to mid-sized businesses that desperately need money right now to help them grow or in many cases survive. A network, a system, a community full of individuals, a network full of trusted business relationships where we come together with people just like you to work together in an industry where you can earn a substantial residual income each month for up to 18 months, 36 months, 5 years, and even longer. As I mentioned before, not only am I willing to give you the bait and the fishing pole to catch the fish, I'm willing to teach you how to think differently. I'm willing to take you by the hand to mentor you, which is the ultimate advantage, preparing you to hit the road running so we can make long-term income together. And what this comes down to in the end, guys, is this. If you don't make money, my funding sources don't make money. And if the funding sources don't make money, my company doesn't make money. And if my company doesn't make money, all this effort, all this information, all my time and company support is a waste of time and resources. As we go through this presentation, just remember, we're all in this together. So during the session, you're going to learn three things. One, you're going to learn why now is the single best time in history to be taking part in this lucrative $136 billion factoring industry. Two, you will learn how you can earn massive profits in the factoring industry by applying a quick, simple, and proven process where you can work once and you can get paid a substantial residual income each month for up to 18 months, 36 months, 5 years, and even longer. And three, you will learn how you can gain the knowledge and the confidence to find your first deal and make money immediately after the workshop is over. And some of you could already be sitting on a gold mine. So just pick up any newspaper or read any online publication, and you will discover article after article, post after post, comment after comment, addressing the fact that banks are still not lending to businesses across the country. And what is more shocking is that business bank loan application decline rates are reaching epidemic proportions. A recent study by the Credit Research Foundation reveals even more shocking facts. That 82% of all businesses are reporting poor cash flow. The report goes on to read that 92% of new businesses will fail in their first year due to the lack of available working capital. And 100% of all businesses will struggle from slow or no cash flow during their existence. The report goes on to say these companies cite the lack of available working capital, the tightening of cash flow, and the slowdown in customer payments as the three major issues that are having disastrous effects on the viability of their businesses. So what is factoring? Why is it important to a business? And why is it important to you? Companies large and small across this country every single day are delivering products or rendering services. In order to be competitive, they can't always insist their customers pay COD, cash on delivery. So in addition to providing the product or rendering the service, they issue an invoice. Now I'm sure most of you know what an invoice looks like, but let me bring your attention to an important section of this invoice indicated by this little green box right here called terms. Typical terms in business. Typical terms issued by vendors to their customers for early payment of their invoices, 2% 10, net 30 days. What does that mean? Well, if a customer pays for the invoice within 10 days of receiving the invoice, the vendor will discount the invoice by 2%. Or the customer will receive a 2% discount off the total value of this invoice. If the customer pays for their invoice after 10 days and before 30 days, the customer is required to pay for the invoice in full. By listing terms on the invoice qualifies the invoice as a legal document or a short-term note. So in addition to providing the product or rendering the service, the vendor issues an invoice, and now they wait. What are they waiting for? Well, they're waiting to get paid. They're waiting to get paid some 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, and even longer. Did you know that the national average for customers to pay for their invoice across this country is a staggering 73 days? And here's another fact: the average small business across North America invoices between $100,000 and $500,000 each and every month and now waits to get paid. While these companies are waiting to get paid, other orders are coming in. While these companies are waiting to get paid, they have to find ways to fill the new orders, to pay their employees, to pay their suppliers, to pay for their rent, to pay for their utilities and their taxes. And did you know this vicious cycle continues to happen every single day to small, medium, and large businesses across the country? So guys, if the banks aren't lending and customers are always paying late, where does a business go to get the money it needs on a daily basis to thrive? Small to mid-sized businesses that need the cash to thrive are turning to the concept of factoring to get the money that they need fast. Guys, take a look at these numbers. Now, the numbers aren't out yet for 2016, but at a point in time when many industries have still been floundering, the factoring industry has been experiencing explosive growth. And what is super important to this industry, to you and me, is that all indicators continue to point to the fact that we can expect much of the same explosive growth for the unforeseen future. Here's another fact that you should know. There are over 55 million small to mid-sized businesses across North America. But did you know that less than 10% of these businesses utilize factoring because most people in businesses have never heard about this concept before? So what is factoring? How does it work? And how can you fit in as a professional cash flow consultant or a referral source in your spare time, your part-time or full-time capacity? You can set your own hours. Well, the definition of factoring goes something like this. Factoring is the purchase of business-to-business or business-to-government accounts receivable, which are current or outstanding invoices for goods or services that have been rendered in the past for a discount fee. Let me repeat that. Factoring is the purchase of business-to-business or business-to-government accounts receivable, which are current or outstanding invoices for goods or services that have been rendered in the past for a discount fee. It's important to note that factoring is not a loan. There is no interest charged, and it's similar to a cash discount that the vendor offers for early payment of the invoice. Remember the 2% 10 net 30-day terms that we just talked about. So how does it work? Well, there are two key disbursements associated with the factoring transaction. The first one is called an advance, and the second one is called a reserve. The advance takes place when the client, the business, receives up to 95% of the face value of the invoice when the invoice is purchased by the factor, or what we like to call as the funding source. The reserve is when the client, the business, receives the balance once the customer has paid for the invoice, less the discount fee, or what we like to call as the factor's fee. I prepared this simple example for you so you can see how it works. Let's say for the purposes of my example, our client, the business, had an invoice of $100,000. And let's say the factor, the funding source, determined that the advance rate was going to be 90%. 90% times $100,000 equals an advance of $90,000. When you subtract $90,000 away from $100,000, you're left with $10,000, or 10% of the invoice, which we call the reserve. The client, the business, will receive this $10,000 back, less the discount fee, the factor's fee, after the customer has paid for the entire invoice. Guys, this is a very simple process, not intellectually difficult once you take the time to understand it. And like I said earlier, there are over 55 million small to mid-sized businesses across North America, but less than 10% of them utilize factoring. So is the factoring industry saturated across North America? Well, on the contrary, did you know that in the UK, the United Kingdom alone, there's over 75% of all the businesses factor. Across Europe, over 54% of all businesses factor, and these numbers are growing. Guys, can you now see why today continues to represent the single best time in history to be working in this lucrative industry? Yes or no? Can you now see why all indicators continue to point to the fact we can expect much of the same for the unforeseen future? Can you now see why I am investing my time and information to expose and educate you about this industry? Well, I sure hope so. So I want you to ask yourself these simple questions. How many businesses are in your area? How many businesses do you know? How many business customers do you have in your present occupation? How many business customers do you know from your former occupation that provide a product or a service to another business or the government? Now ask yourself, how many of those businesses do you think are getting stretched out for payment by their customers? How many businesses does the company that you currently work for stretch out the payment to your customers? Ask yourself, how many of those businesses are getting paid in 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, and even longer? The answer is all of them. Every business has customers that are always paying late. And when customers pay late, this puts a strain on the available cash flow a company needs to make payroll, pay suppliers, pay taxes, meet fixed costs, etc. All I want you to do is focus in on finding just one. One business that needs money right now. And we can quickly teach you how to expose and educate them to the many benefits of factoring without ever having to sit down with them face to face. In our industry, we don't sell. We don't have to sell because, you see, guys, here's what we know. Over 82% of all businesses are reporting poor cash flow. We have a captive audience, and these businesses are waiting to hear from us. They just don't know that we exist. Providing alternative working capital solutions to small and mid-sized businesses is becoming the hottest professional consultant and referral source opportunity of this decade. And although you may have never heard about this career before, Yahoo Hot Jobs recently voted factoring among their top hottest professions, as reported by Joy Victory of Payscale.com. Now, I'm not going to read this entire article or the slide for you for the sake of time, but let me sum it up for you this way. There has never been a better time than right now to create another income stream by learning how to broker factoring relationships. So what does this mean to you? It means that leads are not our issue. Customers are always paying late. Businesses are struggling financially, and the factoring industry continues to experience massive growth across North America. That's why I am still here some 18 years later presenting this information to people just like you. So in our industry, we work as a team and we succeed as a team by following a simple blueprint that we call the FEAS principle or the FEAS process, a process that we have been teaching and following for over a decade. To help you understand this simple process, let me first explain how factors make money. Now, unlike a bank, a factor does not concern itself with the financial strength or the financial wherewithal of the business or the business owners. The factor makes its credit decisions based on two things. One, the creditworthiness of the customer, so who is paying for the invoice, and the length of time it takes for the customer to pay for the invoice. So the FEAS process is like having your own map, a blueprint of what to do first and what to do next. The FEAS process stands for find, expose, educate, and support. Great news in our system: as a cash flow consultant or referral source, we don't sell. We don't cold call. We don't knock on doors. And we certainly don't telemarket. We simply find a targeted audience using some simple tools, and then we expose and educate the audience. In our system, who is responsible for finding, exposing, and educating? You are. And to a certain extent, we're also there to help you educate. But most importantly, we are there to fulfill the support function. Let me briefly explain the system to you. Finding deals with marketing. Finding deals with marketing, finding the most amount of qualified prospects in the least amount of time for the least amount of money. Identifying the businesses, the industries that are inherently attracted to factoring. Great news, there are over 40 of these industries and the list keeps growing, and we're willing to share them with you. Next step is called exposing. Exposing the prospect to the concept of factoring by using lead magnets, using our professionally designed white papers, guides, strategic email communication, harnessing the power of the internet with websites, landing pages, engaging in social media platforms like LinkedIn with systematic proprietary strategies that attract potential prospects and referral sources who are waiting to do business with you. After you find and expose, it's now time to educate. Knowing what to say, when to say it, how to say it, with a time-tested and proven script. Using the same script that I developed and have been using for over 18 years, a script all my file managers use, a script all successful cash flow consultants use, being prepared and ready to answer the most common questions a prospect could ask of you. Learning the script, using the script so you can look like a seasoned professional, even if it's the very first time you're speaking to your very first prospect. And we can quickly teach you how to quickly call the prospect to action to complete some simple information on a 3/4 page worksheet. Then you simply send that information over to us and your job is done. We will intercept this information from you and do everything else for you, including closing the deal with one of our funding sources. What I suggest you do first, because this is what I did in the beginning and have coached so many others to do, is learn to expose and educate the concept of factoring to the people and the businesses that you know. Former or present customers, businesses acquaintances, former or present associates, friends, people you may have met at networking function parties, etc. I like to call this my center of influence list. However small or large your list may be. Because here's a statistic you should keep in mind. 3 in every 5 people know of a business. and 1 in every 5 people own their own business. You don't know who the people that you know on your list know or who they could lead you to. The facts tell us 82% of all businesses are reporting poor cash flow. Business bank loan application decline rates are reaching epidemic proportions. Marketing to your center of influence list first creates an opportunity to practice our system. Creates the opportunity to practice your script. Creates an opportunity to pick off the low-hanging fruit. Remember, guys, your focus, your number one goal after this workshop is over is to find your first deal and find your first deal fast. Then I will show you how to leverage that deal to go find more qualified prospects. Learning to work smart during the time that you have available, however small or large that block of time may be. Anyone can find a business fast if you learn to do the right things right. And here's what I know. We're living in a marketing revolution in the way people buy products, services, choose people to do business with. Learning to harness the power of the internet. Learning to take advantage of all the free technology that is available at our fingertips. Cutting-edge technology, making use of social media platforms like LinkedIn, especially LinkedIn, is all you really need to hit the road running with a system that you can rinse and repeat time and time again. Okay, the last stage of the FEAST process stands for support. Guys, we have gained the reputation as the go-to company in this industry due to this very simple time-tested process and our unparalleled company support. Industry professionals standing by to intercept, structure, place, and close all of your deals. With over 100 years of practicing professional industry experience, I have assembled some of the very best industry professionals to help me guide you, mentor you, support you with the very best funding sources to get your deals funded. You simply find, expose, and educate, gather some simple information on a three-quarter page worksheet, what I like to call as a client profile, and then you turn it over to us and your job is done. Remember, we're all in this together and we're working together. But please understand this. If any one of these steps in the FEAST process breaks down, the factor will not earn any fees. If the factor does not earn any fees, you will not make any money, and neither will my company. Don't recreate our wheel. Follow our blueprint, our strategies, our script, and you will be just fine. Okay, so how do you make money? Well, to get your attention, and one of the things that really got me excited about this industry when I got started is something called long-term residual income. The thought of planting a seed once and then farming it over and over again. The thought of working once and getting paid over and over again should make perfect sense to all of you. In this industry, you can get paid a big chunk, a very large percentage of the gross factoring fees the factor generates for the life of the factoring relationship. Notice I did not say net, I said gross, before any operating expenses are deducted by the factor. Two ways that you can participate in this industry: one is a referral source, or two, a cash flow consultant. So for simply passing on a name of a qualified prospect to us as a referral source, you can earn up to 7% on all the gross factoring fees. For simply passing on a name to us of a qualified prospect and gathering some simple information for us on the three-quarter page worksheet, what I like to call the client profile, as our cash flow consultant, you can earn up to 15% on all the gross factoring fees the factor generates for the life of the factoring relationship. So the difference between the two levels, you can see the cash flow consultant does just a little bit more work for us, and therefore we pay you more. Some of you may already be thinking of a couple businesses that could use factoring. So what does this compensation plan mean to you? Well, let's compare our compensation plan to a popular industry that we can find across this country called real estate. Guys, where you live, work, and play, how many real estate agents are in your area? I may have some real estate agents in my audience right now. So how does a real estate agent get paid? Well, let me quickly explain. A real estate agent who lists a property for sale is traditionally called the listing agent. And this listing agent is paid a one-time percentage of the home's selling price. Now, the listing agent typically offers half of that one-time commission to an agent who brings a buyer into the transaction. This one-time commission split between the two agents typically runs anywhere between 1 to 2.5% for both parties. Now compare that to the factoring industry, where you get paid up to 15% each month for up to 18 months, 36 months, 5 years, and longer, depending on the level that you choose to participate in. And better than that, as our member, you get to keep all of the income. The real estate agent will most likely have to pay something called a desk fee or an office fee out of that one-time commission. They may have to chip in on marketing or promotional expenses, etc. So how much income can you earn? Well, quite frankly, the numbers will surprise you when I show them to you in a minute. I always remind our cash flow consultants, if you aim at nothing, you will hit it. If you aim at nothing, you will hit it. So before I reveal the real numbers, let's set your first goal. Let's set a measurable goal, a target, if you will. On a piece of paper, I want you to write down your answer to this question. How much money would you need to earn per month to make a significant difference in your life right now? How much money would you need to earn per month to make a significant difference in your life right now? Now, I want you to be honest, and I want you to be realistic with your answer, and I want you to write this number down. So let me pause right here for about 10 seconds so you can write down your target number. And then I will reveal some real numbers for all of you when I return. So be back in 10 seconds. Okay, what I would like to do now is share 2 short, real-life case studies with all of you. I think these 2 stories will give you an idea and will help bring some reality to the industry and the type of income you can earn by exposing and educating other people and businesses about this concept. So the first case study is about a company called Synchromesh. Synchromesh is a small industrial detergent manufacturing company with current monthly sales of $86,000. Synchromesh was recently awarded a large contract from a new industrial customer to supply a truckload containing 88 drums of bulk industrial laundry detergent each month for the next 12 months. Total value of this purchase order each month is $68,000, almost double that of Synchromesh's current sales. Now, in order to bid on the contract to be competitive against their competition, Synchromesh negotiated early payment supplier discounts with their suppliers and received special pricing on the raw materials. The special pricing was awarded under the stipulation that Synchromesh would pay their suppliers in 7 days. The industrial customer ended up paying for the first order in 60 days. When Synchromesh approached their customer to see if they could pay earlier on all future orders, the customer said they would prefer to pay in 60 days. So the issue, Synchromesh must now be in a position to pay their suppliers in 7 days on all future orders, even though their new customer prefers to pay in 60 days. So what is Synchromesh to do now? Well, they're going to have to find another way to raise the cash to pay their suppliers early, or they will have to turn down the rest of the contract because there's no profit in the transaction if they can't receive supplier discounts, and what's worse, they will probably lose this new customer altogether, and the chances of receiving any new orders in the future from this customer will be drastically reduced. So Synchromesh went to the bank, but they were declined for financing due to 2 reasons. 1, the bank thought that they were growing too quickly, and 2, the company was only 2 years old and didn't have enough financial history to qualify for bank financing. This deal was found and referred to us by a cash flow consultant, and the transaction we structured went on to look something like this. Purchase order value each month from the new industrial customer, $68,000. The factor ended up advancing 85%. So 85% times $68,000 equals a total advance of $57,800, more than enough money to pay the suppliers. The factor charged a discount fee or a factor's fee of just 2.5% for every 30 days the invoice was outstanding. And this customer paid their invoice in how many days? 60. So 2.5 for the first 30 days plus 2.5% for the next 30 days equals a total factor's fee of 5%. 5% times $68,000 equals monthly factoring fees of $3,400. If you were the cash flow consultant that introduced this deal to us, how much would you receive? 15%. 15% times $3,400 equals $510 residual monthly income. Guys, what could you do with an extra $510 coming into your household each month starting right now? In this industry, we call these small deals. Well, guess what happened in this deal? Synchromesh realized that every time they created an invoice, they could factor it and receive immediate working capital to run their total business. So now they went on to factor all of their receivables, their current sales of $86,000, plus their purchase order of $68,000 from the new customer, for a total of $154,000 each month. And guess what happened to the cash flow consultant's commission? It grew to be over $1,100 per month. Guys, do you know how hard and how long it takes some people to work to get paid $1,100 per month? Okay, let me quickly tell you about healthcare nurse staffing. Healthcare nurse staffing is a temporary staffing agency that provides nurses and other healthcare providers to hospitals, labs, nursing homes, retirement homes, etc. Healthcare nurse staffing recently secured a contract to provide 50 nurses to a local hospital in the Boston area. The nurse staffing company would pay their nurses $24 per hour, and the nurses would work a 40-hour work week. The nurse staffing company would then turn around and invoice the hospital at $32 per hour for each 40-hour work week per nurse. The hospital pays their invoices in 60 days. The issue: the nurse staffing company must now be in a position to fund bi-weekly payroll, pay their nurses every 2 weeks to perform on this contract. So the payroll looks something like this. $24 per hour, which is the hourly wage per nurse, times 50, the number of nurses, times 40, the hours per week for each nurse, times 2, the number of weeks in the payroll period, equals $96,000. The invoicing to the hospital looks something like this. $32 per hour, which is the hourly wage per nurse, times 50, the number of nurses, times 40, the hours per week for each nurse, times 2, which is the number of weeks in the payroll period, equals $128,000. Well, healthcare nurse staffing didn't have this type of money, nor did she know where she was going to go to get $96,000 every 2 weeks to make her payroll. So she went to the bank but was declined because they didn't have any hard assets to pledge a security to obtain a loan. Let's think about this for a second. What could they pledge as security? This healthcare nurse staffing company rents the office space, and when you walk in the front door of their office, all you would see is a small reception area. You walk down the hall to the right, a small kitchen with a microwave, a small refrigerator. To the left, you see a few desks with computers, a phone system, and a few pictures on the wall. The only inventory they have is people, nurses. You can't pledge humans as security to a bank. So this deal was found and introduced to us by a cash flow consultant, and the transaction we structured went on to look something like this. Total value of the weekly invoicing, $64,000 times 2 weeks, equals $128,000. Now the factor ended up advancing 90%. 90% times $128,000 equals a total advance of $115,200. More than enough money to pay the nurses' wages in the amount of $96,000 every 2 weeks. The factor charged a discount fee or a factor's fee of just 2.25% for every 30 days the invoice was outstanding, and the hospital paid their invoice in how many days? 60 days. So 2.25 for the first 30 days plus 2.25 for the next 30 days equals 4.5%. 4.5% times $128,000 equals factoring fees of $5,760 every 2 weeks. If you were the cash flow consultant that introduced this deal to us and you gathered some simple information, how much would you get paid? 15%. 15% times $5,760 times 2, which is the average pay periods in a month, equals residual monthly income of $1,728 each month. If you were the referral source that sent us this deal, simply multiply $5,760 times 7 times 2, and that would equal $806. Guys, imagine what it would feel like to have an extra $806 or $1,728 coming into your household each and every month. In this industry, we call these bigger size deals, and there's a plethora of them out there. Now, before you even ask, the average size deal that we see coming in is approximately $175,000 per month in receivables to be purchased. So guys, how many deals or businesses are you going to need to find to reach your financial goal? I bet you it's not as many as you thought, huh? So let me ask you this question. With everything that I've shared with you up to this point, and with some more practical information, some simple training, together with our unparalleled company support to guide, intercept, close all of your transactions, do you think that you could find just one company that could use factoring? Just one. If so, I want you to go ahead and click the yes on the screen in front of you right now if you think that you could find just one company that could use factoring. Go ahead and do that for me right now. Of course you can. Anyone can. A matter of fact, 97% of you just said you can. You don't need to think. You don't need to recreate the wheel. You just do what we ask you to do and follow the blueprint. For those of you that answered yes, that you felt confident that you could find one deal, which is most of you, there are 5 things you're going to need to hit the road running as a cash flow consultant. Now, if you're thinking of participating in this industry as a referral source, you're going to need to understand how to explain the concept of factoring, and we have some videos for you at the end of this workshop that will help you accomplish that. As a cash flow consultant, there are 5 things you're going to need to hit the road running. 1, you're going to need some more practical and concise information. Some simple training of exactly what to do first and what to do next when following the fees process, because I just can't teach you everything during our short time together on this business workshop. 2, you're going to need some time-tested, proven marketing strategies, techniques, and collateral to help you find the most amount of qualified prospects in the least amount of time for the least amount of money. And what you will discover is that many of our strategies will cost you $0 to implement. 3, if you recall from the fees process, the last stage is support. You're going to need company support to answer any questions as you're going through the Quick Start training. You're going to need company support to answer any questions after you have completed the Quick Start training. You're also going to need our professional industry practitioner deal flow support to intercept, place, and close all of your transactions with our group of nationwide factors and private lenders through the Invoice Exchange. 4, you're going to need to establish an internet presence. Let me repeat that for you. You're going to need to establish an internet presence. We're living in a marketing revolution, guys, in the way people buy products, services, choose people to do business with. Learning to harness the power of the internet. Learning to take advantage of all the free technology that is available at our fingertips. Cutting-edge technology and tools that can help you level the playing field will help you automate your marketing efforts. 5, you're going to need some leads. But leads is not our issue, guys. Throwing mud against the wall and seeing what sticks or spamming messages all over the place is not what this is all about. The fees process is targeted. It's focused. It's about quickly uncovering opportunities in this vast industry, and these prospects are all around us. Remember, the statistics tell us 3 in 5 people know of a business. 1 in 5 people own their own business. You don't know who your contacts know or who they could lead you to. As you can see by the two case studies that I just shared with you, that many of you are one to a handful of deals away from reaching your financial goal, and many of you could already be sitting on a gold mine. And there's absolutely no reason why anyone on this workshop can't be doing this immediately after the workshop is over. Banks aren't lending. Business bank application decline rates are reaching epidemic proportions. These two factors alone have created the perfect storm for the factoring industry, and it will remain to be that way for the unforeseen future. Your timing couldn't be better. This industry is growing every year, and you're in the right place at the right time. So I want you to copy down our company website address, www.thetfi.com. www.thetfi.com. This is the factoring industry's top-rated quick start online training website. Let me get out of the presentation and jump on the internet live with you. So let me go to the website and I'll show you around. 1 second. Okay guys, here we are right now at www.thetfi.com. Now let me apologize in advance. I'm running a little behind, so if I run a little late over the top of the hour, please don't be upset with me. For those that are interested in becoming a referral source, we have a referral source agreement that we will sign that covers you for all of your transactions. You'll be able to download this agreement along with the free ebook, and I'll give you the link in a minute. For those that are interested in becoming a cash flow consultant, where you can earn 15% residual commission. This is our advanced cash flow consultant training website. We are the exclusive factoring training provider for the American Association of Private Lenders. This is the industry's top-rated, very first and only professional, studio-recorded, virtual, digital, high-definition training platform that gives you a distinct competitive advantage in this explosive factoring industry with our group of nationwide factors and private lenders across the United States and Canada. Using robust and cutting-edge technology, we can provide you everything that you will ever need. Practical, short, and concise information, leaving no stones unturned, with must-to-know information and step-by-step instructions showing you exactly how to execute strategies so you're prepared to find your first transaction within a few days of this training. Now, to access the entire video lineup, I want you to scroll up here to the top right-hand side of the website where you see Contact Us tab, and to the left of it you'll see Member Login. Give it a click, and you will be redirected to this page here. After you become a member, you will receive your own username and password. Simply enter your credentials to gain 24/7, 365 access to all of the training videos from any mobile device, laptop, computer, cell phone, etc. that has an internet connection. Please make note of this. You can also view the entire training curriculum as a non-member, and I encourage all of you to do this after we finish up here in a few minutes by simply scrolling down here to the bottom right-hand side where you see Select a Module, TFI Module 1, 2, 3, and 4. You see that here? Go ahead and give TFI Module 1 a click, and you will be redirected to the entire lineup of the videos that are included in TFI Module 1. Okay, let's give TFI Module 2 a click. Now guys, anytime that you scroll through the list and you arrive at the bottom of the page and you see something called older entries, you see that down here? This means that there are more videos associated with this module on the next page. Simply give it a click and you're redirected to the next page to continue your learning experience. Now I only have a few more minutes, so let me just highlight a couple of these videos. For example, video 19, the communication process. Learning what to say, learning how to say it, learning when to say it can make you look like a seasoned professional even if it's the first time that you're speaking to your first prospect or business contact. Learning how to follow our 80-20 rule when it comes to communication is vital to your success. Learning how to call the prospect to a simple call to action to complete the short client profile is your only objective. Then you send this profile over to an invoice exchange file manager and your job is done. Video 19 will teach you exactly how to do this using MyScript, a script that I have been using for over 15 years, a script that my file managers use, a script that you use because it's going to work. Okay, let me bring your attention to TFI Module 3. Learning what to do is very different than doing what you know. This is what makes our blueprint simply the best on the factoring planet. Nothing happens unless you have certainty, you have confidence in what you're doing, and you take action. TFI Module 3 is packed full of time-tested marketing strategies, not theories, that we have developed and many are still in use today. Video 22 is called Attraction Marketing. This video explains how you can put out compelling, targeted, time-tested messages through various channels to targeted prospects and then have the prospect react to the message with a simple call to action. Let me click on older entries and skip over here to, let me see, videos 30 to 36. Okay? Videos 30 to 36. Guys, harnessing the power of the internet is working smart, not hard. Learning to harness the internet changed the way I did business some 15 years ago and is a big part of everything that we do today. A matter of fact, guys, I was the very first factoring consultant in this industry to design and use my very own successful capture page lead system. In this video, we show you exactly how you can set up, personalize, and brand your very own capture page, complete with our content, our images, the exact same calls to action, give you free access to use our lead magnets that we can personalize and brand them to you. Turnkey stuff, guys, internet optimization, finding, exposing, and educating on your behalf while you're away doing something else. Okay, let me skip over here to older entries and go to videos 38 and 39. Developing lead lists. In these videos, guys, we reveal over 40 hot industries that are inherently attracted to factoring, and we show you how you can harness the power of the internet to quickly develop these lead lists. But just remember, this is not about throwing mud against the wall and seeing what sticks. I keep saying, and it's important for you to realize, that leads are not our issue. What we do with the leads we have is the key behind everything that we do. Now, guys, if I asked you who is the largest and best paying customer in the United States and Canada, they just pay really late, what would your answer be? The correct answer is the government. Government factoring, government vendor factoring has become and will remain a huge market for all of us, no matter where you're located. A matter of fact, the government has created entire departments dedicated to factoring, and the government implemented something called the Notice of Assignment of Claims Act to work specifically with factors to quickly implement the funding facility. In video 39, we show you exactly how you can obtain a government vendors list for any department, for any state, any city in a state, or federal department for free. Guys, the lists are massive. If you all agree to do nothing else but follow this one strategy, and you obtain the list for the Federal Department of Goods and Services, and you all promise me not to start on page 1 of the list is so big you would never run into each other again. Find, learn to quickly expose and educate, complete the client profile, send to the invoice file manager, invoice exchange file manager. We provide the support to place, close the transaction, and you go and move on to something else. Now, there's so much in these videos I have to show you, but I only have so much time. So let me scoot over to TFI Module 4, where I find the LinkedIn training videos. Guys, I love LinkedIn. It is the new age of lead generation, and we continue to dedicate a lot of time to testing, tracking, tweaking to continue to be at the forefront of this industry. Guys, social media is poised to change the way we do business again, creating a marketing revolution never seen before in the factoring industry or in any industry if you know what you're doing. Did you know that there are over 414 million registered users on LinkedIn, and what's amazing is 2 new members are joining LinkedIn every second? I view LinkedIn as a massive lead generation engine, giving you the opportunity to find, expose, and educate the most amount of qualified prospects and referral sources in the least amount of time for the least amount of money. LinkedIn recently published these statistics. Professionals that utilize social selling create 45% more lead opportunities, and 78% of social sellers and marketers outsell peers who don't use social media. Folks, gone are the days of people being chained to the office or their home staring at a desktop computer. The mobile technology boom allows us to easily conduct business through a laptop, a tablet, and in many cases our cell phone. Doing business in this business or any business has never been easier. Now guys, when it comes to LinkedIn, most people that I've spoken to about LinkedIn really don't know how to use LinkedIn. Their profile is poorly designed. They don't know how to properly optimize their profile or expose other people to their profile, let alone use LinkedIn as a lead generator. As part of Video Module 2, we can help you design or redesign a no conflict of interest killer profile in just about 30 minutes. A profile that creates punch, making an immediate impact not only for your cash flow consultant business, but you can use this information to design a killer profile for any business. Remember guys, you only get one chance to make a good first impression. And using the LinkedIn platform properly all starts with having a killer profile, a captivating headline, a short but relevant summary, lead magnets, and a call to action. Here's a tip when using LinkedIn, and one thing I suggest you do when you decide to include LinkedIn as part of your lead generation process. It's create your own private Gmail LinkedIn email account. Why? Because this has proven to be an effective way to help me manage, organize, and separate my LinkedIn activity away from all of my other daily corporate and personal business. So my private Gmail LinkedIn email account is mikep.linkedin@gmail.com. My first name and last initial .linkedin@gmail.com. I'll post this email address in a minute so you can see what it looks like, and you can go ahead and connect with me on LinkedIn. I would be delighted to accept and have a conversation with you. So just go to gmail.com and just set up your new Gmail account using your first name and last initial or your first initial and last name .linkedin@gmail.com. And then I want you to go back into your LinkedIn account and make this your primary email address. If you don't know how to do this, don't worry, we'll show you how to do it. Okay, how about one more? Video 3. Video 3 teaches you how to convert profile views. Now, most people that I've talked to about LinkedIn don't pay attention to profile views or understand why profile views are so important. Many people I've talked to about LinkedIn don't even know where to find profile views, a prominent feature if you're using LinkedIn properly. Now, here's a rule of thumb when it comes to LinkedIn profile views. Are you ready? When you view someone's profile, they will usually view your profile back. And if you have a killer LinkedIn profile that demonstrates that you can add value to your targeted viewer, in many cases they will ask you to connect with them. In these videos, I will show you how you can automate LinkedIn to automatically profile view between 400 to 800 profile views a day for you while you're away doing something else. Working smart, not hard, guys. Then I want you to set the time aside to do your follow-ups, to expose, educate, and convert with time-tested, attraction permission-based scripts, personalized white papers, guides, capture pages, lead magnets, and short webinars. We can even show you how to use permission-based messaging that we have developed and tested to connect with your profile viewers that did not connect with you. Proven messaging that soared our response rates, guys, by over 61%. 61%. Okay, so let me get out of here and let's go to the Replicating Company website. Okay guys, of all the tools that we can provide for you to help you build your profitable cash flow consultant business, you're absolutely going to really love using one of our Replicating Company websites. So here I am on one of our Replicating Company websites at the Invoice Exchange. Now we've created this awesome piece of robust technology to be so user-friendly. This powerful tool is more than a website because it comes complete with your own back office so you can manage the entire website by yourself. Plus it comes fully loaded with an automated client profile submission system, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. This cutting-edge replicating company website can help you market your profitable cash flow consultant business, manage your profitable cash flow consultant business, and support your profitable cash flow consultant business. For the purposes of this demo, I am currently showing you what our modern looking website template looks like. This is a one-page template because all of the information is displayed as you scroll down through the page. And all of the content, all of the information that you will ever need to expose and educate is part of this website. Now, let me get out of here and show you what our classic looking website template looks like. 1 second. Okay, so here's a replicating company website for one of our websites called the Factors Exchange. Now, as you can see, this classic template is very different from the modern template that I just showed you because we have a home page. And to access the other pages of information, the visitor must click on the page tabs up here. For example, the Alternative Financing Solutions page. This is what this page would look like. And let's try another one. The FAQ page. And this is what the FAQ page would look like. So as you can tell, both of these sites are professionally designed websites, and we have used WordPress technology to design these websites for those of you that are familiar with WordPress. As our cash flow consultant, you can choose from the modern style or the classic style template, and we have different color options and images to choose from. Now, each website comes complete with your own domain name. We will replace our contact information with your contact information that can be found in the Contact Us tab. We will set up your personal email addresses to match your domain name. We will help you pick out a domain name. We will design a logo for you. And we will replace our domain name, our logo, and company reference with your domain name, your logo, and your company reference and contact information. As an added bonus, we're going to host this entire website for you for free. Now, because I'm running out of time, let me quickly show you the back office and the automated client profile submission system. In our communication process video training module, we quickly teach you how to call your prospect to action to complete the short client profile on your website by clicking the Apply Now form. And this is what the client profile would look like. Now, this is a fully automated and fillable form. So when the prospect clicks on the various sections, they can go ahead and type in their information. Now, what is cool about this website is when the prospect clicks Submit down here, two things happen simultaneously. One is the client profile, a copy of the client profile is emailed directly to you. And two, a copy of the client profile is emailed directly to us, so we can immediately intercept and start working on the deal for you while you're away doing something else. Okay, now let me get out of here and let me show you what the back office of the website would look like. Okay, now this is what your admin panel would look like to access the back office of your website. Now you're going to receive your own username and password for both templates. So whichever one that you decide, you will be able to access the back office of your websites using an admin panel that looks like this. So when we log in, at first, the back office may look a little daunting, but we will quickly show you how to use this because it's so user-friendly. If you ever want to make changes to a page, I'm not sure why you would ever want to do that because we have already created the content for you. But if you do, you simply just go up here to Pages, you give all pages a click, and all the pages of your website will come up in front of you. You just choose the page that you want to make the changes to, and you click Edit, you insert your changes, and you click Publish, and you're done. Your website comes with blogging software, and we have a video module that will teach you about blogging. We have already created a blogging section for you on your website called the Newsflash blog. Now you can borrow our content, or we can show you how to borrow content from the internet. And when you have your content, you simply go up here to Posts, click Add New, give it a title, add your content, and click Publish, and you're finished. To see your Newsflash blog section, go over here to All Pages, scroll down here, here's your Newsflash blog, and just give it a view. And this is the blogging section of your website right here. Okay? Now we've created this website to also become your marketing resource library, and here's how. We created a special link to a page that only you can access by scrolling to the bottom where you will find Quick Start Library. Do you see that here? And when you give view a click, you're going to receive access to over 25 proprietary documents containing time-tested scripts, tips, techniques, messaging, and strategies that you can use right away to make an immediate impact. So we simply scroll through the list and let's give one of these a click. How about 27? LinkedIn templates. And there you go. You can print this document, you can save it to your computer, or you can always find it in the back office of your website. Okay, so let me get out of here and get back into the presentation, and then I will wrap up this training session with next steps. So 1 second. Okay guys, here's a list of all the featured benefits that you can receive when you become a member of our Elite Cashflow Consultant team. I will tell you how you can become a referral source in just a minute. When you join, you're going to receive 24/7, 365 unlimited access to the industry's top-rated HD Video Quick Start Resource Library and LinkedIn training information that can get you ready to hit the road running in the next 24 hours. You will also receive a copy of the Take Action Training Workbook. This is what the workbook looks like. This is a fantastic short exercise. The answers are in the back of the book, and this workbook can also serve as your quick reference guide after you've completed the questions. As a member, you can receive access to the Quick Start Business Accelerator library, containing over 25 priceless documents, including scripts, tips, techniques, personalized marketing collateral, and your cash flow consultant agreement. Guys, knowing what to do is very different than doing what you know. Lead generation, learning and using, taking action, not just learning. Building a successful team is what our program is all about. Guys, what would it feel like to know anytime you had a question, you needed advice? You could reach out and interact with a seasoned industry professional that works in this industry every single day. What would it feel like to have the confidence to know that an industry practitioner is standing by to guide and support you? As a member, you're going to receive lifetime Q&A member services email support and lifetime file manager deal flow support to intercept, place, and help you close all of your transactions with our group of nationwide affiliated funding sources and lenders. As a member, you're going to receive lifetime updates of new training modules, tips, techniques, because we're always testing, tracking, and tweaking new stuff to continue to be the first and remain at the forefront of this industry. Now guys, would it be of interest to you if I told you that there was a single step that you could take to speed up your learning curve, to quickly put everything we are going to teach you into immediate action to hit the road running to close your first deal? Well, there is such a step, and it's as simple as this: finding a mentor. A mentor is someone who has already traversed the path that you are just beginning on, learning from all their experience, knowledge, and accomplishments to help you turn your actions into success. As an added bonus, I'm willing to invest some of my time to be your mentor. And it's important to me that every one of you start off in the right direction. Guys, the holy grail of taking action in anything you do is called certainty and confidence. And here's what I know. We are all unique, and we all bring something different to the table. That's why I make this personal strategy call a priority to speak with all of my new cash flow consultants. Guys, over the past 18 years, I have seen everything, I have done everything, and I have accomplished everything in this industry. I have already traversed the path that you are just beginning on. During this call, I can help you develop a plan of action where we play to your strengths. We will identify immediate opportunities and techniques you will use to hit the road running to find your first deal fast. And after you find your first deal, I will teach you how we can leverage that deal to immediately go find more qualified prospects, and that's why we need you. I'm sure by now some of you have been thinking, if this program is so great, if their system is so great, why aren't they doing it themselves? The answer is time. We just don't have the time. My staff are experts in supporting you, structuring, placing, and closing your deals. This is the most crucial step in the fees process. The simple part is finding the deal that anyone can learn to do quickly. The real secret to building your business fast, guys, is right here. Many years ago, I discovered this industry is unlike any other industry when it comes to leads. For example, let's go back to the real estate agent who sells the house. To generate more income, they now have to go on the hunt to find another homeowner that wants to sell their house, and this can be a long and cumbersome process. What about the insurance agent? Talk about competition and hard work. Guys, where you live, work, and play, how many real estate agents are in your area? How many insurance agents are in your area? How many mortgage brokers are in your area? Typical salespeople that sell products or services have to identify the market, make a prospect list, create a funnel, dial for dollars, set appointments, fight the competition to make one sale. What you will really like about the factoring industry is very different, and here's why. Remember back in the presentation I revealed 3 major issues that are having disastrous effects on the viability of businesses? Remember the third reason was slowdown in customer payments? Remember back to the presentation when I shared a fact with all of you that the average time it takes for customers to pay their invoices across North America is a staggering 73 days? Guys, remember back to the beginning of the presentation, I shared a statistic with you. 82% of all businesses are reporting poor cash flow. Number one reason for poor cash flow is because those businesses' customers are always paying them late. And the number one reason their customers are paying them late is because their customers are paying them late. Remember back in the presentation when I was explaining to all of you how factors make money. Remember when I explained to you they make their credit decisions based on 2 things. One was the credit worthiness of the customer, and 2, the length of time it takes for the customer to pay. Guys, the secret to building your consulting business fast is exposing and educating the customer list. And what better referral to receive, what better individual to lead you to the customer list is the business that you just helped solve their cash flow problems. Think back to a time when you were in a cash flow crisis and what it felt like to be in that crisis. Think back to what it felt like when that cash flow crisis went away. A happy client is the best referral source of them all. Guys, if you haven't experienced that aha moment by now, this should be the time. Because one of the pieces of information we ask your prospect to provide us after we intercept the deal from you is their customer list. This customer list now becomes your gold mine of qualified prospects. And we will take you by the hand and show you how to leverage and work through your happy client to expose and educate the customer base about factoring without ever having to leave your home. So the answer is, we need you to learn our system. We need you to replicate our system, to duplicate our system, to expose and educate these customer lists, because we just don't have the time. By teaching you and supporting you, you can replicate, duplicate our system to generate lots of deal flow. Like I said in the beginning, we're all in this together. For those of you that are interested in becoming a referral source where you can get paid up to 7% for simply passing on a name, it's free to join. Simply email us at info@thetfi.com, subject line referral source sign up, and we will email you a link and a password to receive a set of 7 short video training modules, a booklet, to help you continue your learning experience. So again, email us at info@thetfi.com, subject line referral source sign up, and we will send you the link and the password. For those of you that want to communicate with me, 2 ways to get a hold of me. Let's communicate, or let's connect on LinkedIn. Just use my email address, mikep.linkedin@gmail.com. That's mikep.linkedin@gmail.com, and send me an invitation to connect. I would be delighted to accept and have a conversation with you. Please be sure to replace the standard LinkedIn connection request message with Michael, I attended your workshop. This will help me keep my connection requests organized. If you'd like to speak with me personally, I'm happy to make myself available at selected times throughout the week. Please feel free to use my online scheduling system to choose a convenient time for our call by copying this link down: www.thetfi.com/Mike. www.thetfi.com/Mike. Now, guys, of course, in any business you have what are called startup and support costs, and this business is no different. However, we have been blowing the lid off this industry for over a decade now because we don't ask people just like you to break their bank account to get involved. The real money, the smart money for the funding sources, for you, for the Finance Institute, is in the deal flow. The residual income, that's what our industry's top-rated system is all about. Not selling training and profiting off a one-time sale like a real estate agent. What should give you confidence is we're all in this together, coming together, working together to find and close transactions. If we don't find and close deals together, nobody makes money. Not you, not us, not the funding sources. The more people we can quickly teach and support, the more deal flow we will see. The more deal flow we see, the more residual revenue all of us will earn. This is a win-win system, and it can be a winning system for you if you just follow the blueprint and take advantage of our support as your guiding star and take action. This is not rocket science, guys. You don't need any previous experience or knowledge of this industry to learn how to find, expose, and educate. I believe that many of you could be sitting on a gold mine with your experience, your background, and your contacts. I believe every one of you should have the opportunity to learn this new lifelong skill. Because I know when we come together to work together, significant results can be achieved. So with that said, for those of you that are interested in learning our system, getting involved in our industry as a cash flow consultant where you can get paid up to 15% residual commission, you have 3 levels of membership that you can choose from. The first is called consultant, the second is called specialist, the third is called pro. The difference between consultant and specialist level is as follows. 1, the specialist level includes the professionally designed replicating company website, the automated back office and client profile submission system, the email addresses, and we're going to help you pick out your domain name and register that domain name. Plus, you're going to receive a 30-minute mentoring session with me. The difference between the specialist level and the pro level is the mentoring session increases to 60 minutes, and as an added bonus, we're going to help you set up your lead page capture system. Guys, investing in the specialist or the pro level is like owning a franchise-like business without ever investing a franchise-like fee. Guys, a franchise-like business where you keep 100% of your revenue turnkey ready to go, never having to invest any of your own capital. So with that said, I'm inviting you to join the consultant level for as little as $197, the specialist level for as little as $497, or the pro level for just $697. We also offer a performance guarantee because nothing happens if we don't find that first deal. So here's your reward. Our performance guarantee states, we are so confident in our system that we will reimburse you your full investment into the alternative financing specialist home study system on the submission and the funding of your very first deal, plus you're going to receive your full commissions. As you can see, the Add to Cart button is now open. We process your payment through PayPal, 100% secure server. For those that are interested, PayPal offers a 6 months, 0 interest, 0 payment option. Guys, you literally can join our program for free. And when you close your first deal, we will reimburse you your total investment, and then you can go ahead and pay PayPal. And let me tell you, if it takes anyone here 6 months to find one deal, you're simply just not trying. And everyone on this workshop should be jumping at this opportunity. For those that want to enroll through our website, the link to join is at the top of this slide. www.thetfi.com/enroll with 1L. That's www.thetfi.com/enroll with 1L. Guys, I have run way over my time here today. I've had a terrific time on this workshop, a lot of great interaction, and I did my best to share as much solid and pragmatic information during our short time together. For those of you that have posted questions, I'm happy to answer all of your questions, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to send you an email with the answers to all of the questions posted during the workshop. So please keep an eye out for that email coming from the Finance Institute. Check your inbox or junk mail folder. The email will be there. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn or schedule a short call with me. I would be delighted to spend some time with you because I'm here to assist you, and together we can help you define a plan so you can capitalize on your potential. Until I speak with you again, I really appreciate you setting some time aside to join me here. I hope you got some extreme value out of the information and you enjoyed receiving all of this information as much as I did presenting it to you. Goodbye for now.